lot of them are talented.
Yeah.
But Toronto's had this issue for decades of being follow fashion. Right? So a lot of these rappers are mimicking the new Detroit flows. You know what I'm saying?
The drill rap.
The like whatever's the hot shit. Like you can I go through so many different music videos per week, and like I hear the Toronto accent, but I'm like, you're doing Detroit. You're doing Atlanta. You're doing the Chicago shit. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the UK drill. Like, you know, everybody's like doing a copy or like an interpretation of all these other types of things, and nobody's actually coming with their own original sound.
So what
they
is the
got
Toronto
original
sound?
accents, but not original sounds.
So in your opinion, what is the Toronto sound?
It hasn't been developed yet. Like the closest that ever came to a Toronto sound is when them OVO boys were like really breaking through, and then people were starting to mimic that underwater style beat that like 40 OVO 40 came out with back in the days, and you know they started that murky like moody shit. You know what I'm saying? Like other people started mimicking the beats, like Bryson Tiller, he came out with his tune, and like they all started draking.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Essentially.
So like that's the most time that we've ever had our own shit. Even though Drake is known for taking a lot of different styles as well and like blending them in, I'm talking about the whole marriage of the beat and what you're doing with the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can't have just your own. Toronto can't have its own style just based off the rappers, and we've had this conversation on the podcast before. It's the producers and the rappers together that need to be able to develop this sound.
That's
where like
true.
you hear that beat come. Like, okay, I'll give you perfect examples. You can tell when a West Coast beat drops.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
That whistle.
Can we all agree with that?
Yeah,
Easily.
100%.
Easily.
Especially the G-Funk shit.
Oh, of course. With that weird wiry in
The whistle.
yeah. Yup.
If another nigga from another region jumps on that, you're like, yo, he's doing his West Coast thing.
Facts.
That's true.
A lie?
That's true.
Facts.
That's
Right?
true.
100%.
Atlanta, from even back in the days when Lil Jon and those guys were doing their thing, right?
Yeah.
The styles of beats that they were making, if somebody else from another region did it, you were like, yo, I'm doing the Atlanta shit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Snap
You
music.
feel me?
Yeah, snap music, the snap era.
So it wasn't like, oh, another nigga could jump on it and it's us. No, we're doing them right now.
Yeah.
Especially like niggas been making albums and they're like, oh, I need to have this one of these and one of these. It started becoming super obvious at one point. Like Nas is jumping on fucking bounce beats and fucking doing triple time flows and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody were like, I need to have one of these. Toronto needs to step out where they have that sound where it's like, yo, I need to get a Toronto sound on my album too.
I think Canada
And the flow.
I think Canada suffers from a little brother syndrome, though. When you think about like when you just mentioned like L.A., Atlanta, New York, like Canada, because you know I seen like documentaries and stuff like that about guys in the '90s trying to put Toronto on the map rap wise, but people were like they weren't taking Canada serious. You know, you guys are from the north, like they're laughable, right? So I feel like Canada now always had that little brother, like America's a bigger, famous brother. You know what I'm saying? And we've always been in that shadow of the little of the big brother. You feel me? So it's like, what do? You wear your big brother's hand me downs. You want to be cool like him. So you don't want to like carve your own path. You kind of like
That's a good point.
I want my big brother swag.
Where's hand me downs?
I want to rock his shit.
Hand me down beats.
That analogy is fucking sick as fuck. Bro.
Yeah, like you want to wear your big
That's
brother
how it is.
swag. That's how it
But
is.
guess what? Toronto needs to grow the fuck up.
It's true.
We need to
agree.
stop being little brothers to the States, fam. That I've said this multiple times. That American ice ain't colder. Remember that expression? That white ice ain't colder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
That
like
American
that one.
ice ain't colder, fam. It's not
For
just
real.
better
I like
because
that
they got
one.
an American accent, fam. It's like, be proud of our city, fam.
Yeah.
We're the 4th largest city in North America.
Yeah.
So we actually have more population than multiple American cities.
That is crazy when you think about it. Then it's true.
Yeah.
That's wild when you think about it.
Except for 3 others. The fuck are we talking about, fam? You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So we should have been bigging up our chest from time
Yeah.
and get over this little brother syndrome. If we got some shit to say in the way we want to say it, then figure it out rather than us trying to assimilate to them all the time.
It's true.
But I think the main problem with that is that everybody kind of takes from America. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like the hip hop thing, because they're the mecca of rap.
Yeah.
And I think because we're close to the mecca of rap, the East Coast, New York, like I think it's just kind of embedded in us to go that route. But it's like, I don't know. I think I think we do need to find our own way. But it's gonna be a cohesive thing, like he said. Like sonically, you gotta have the producers making different types of beats. It can't be all these drill beats, and you gotta kind of step. It's kind of like what he said early on, like when Drake and 40 first kind of were like creating that sound. You know what I mean?
Well, look how it's working for them.
Exactly.
He's the biggest rapper in the world, not in Canada, in the world,
It's
fam.
true.
Yeah, man.
It's true.
So they use that formula. Like obviously they took from. Because it's America's art form. We're not going to act like we're not.
Yeah.
No,
their
for
art
sure.
Yeah.
form, right? But they use different, obviously, the fundamentals from there, and they did their own shit. And then people were like, yo, like, nobody sounds like Drake, fam. Like, I hate doing this because everyone's like, fuck. Because I'm the Drakeologist, I'm the Drake attorney. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in invisible courtrooms, like, my client, Mr. Graham. You know what I'm saying? But like nobody sounds like this nigga, fam. Like he might morph other sounds, but they don't sound like him doing it.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I agree with that.
So other motherfuckers always try to sound like him, bro, for time, bro.
True. There's even an artist right now that's big that's kind of getting a run off of his type of sound right now.
You know what's crazy that you just someone made a point just now, and it made me thought of grime, UK grime.
Yeah.
You know why grime started? Because the artists there were trying to sound American, and they're like, "Yo, screw that! Like, yo, scrap that! Let's make our own sound."
Yeah.
And that's how grime started, and it took off in
it
the UK to now that they have their own sound, like they have their own British, like, and it's still a thing now. Grime
Yeah,
is
it
even more
is.
accepted now
Yep.
in the UK now because I'm like, and that's a point that Toronto should do too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come out of that, like, yo, forget trying to sound like Big Brother.
It's true. That's a good point.
Custom make our own shit.
Yes, fam.
You're right.
And
That's
the
a
thing is,
great point.
We're so fucking follow fashion that when grime evolved into drill, now we're fucking doing UK drill.
Yeah.
Yo, there's music
Yeah.
videos that I watch from Toronto guys that they're literally mimicking UK man's accents. When we use the same slang, fam. We already use the same slang. Why are you using the accent, fam? You're fucking whack, bro. All you niggas who send me music videos that you're trying to sound like UK niggas, fam, you know what you're doing, fam. That's not cool, fam. Don't try to trick the algorithm on YouTube, bro.
Yo, that is wild. That because we already have a wild accent as is. Like we don't notice it because we're here, but when you go to the States, they pick up on that
They'll
quick,
tell you
right away. Like what?
Where you from?
Well, yeah, like why you pronounce all your words?
But there
like
was a
that?
debate between British and Toronto man them because yeah, like Friday said, we talked, we say we have the same slang. Like,
Yeah, we
usually
do the
would
same
say
words,
waste
fam.
man, all that they say
Yeah.
all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That we say here. So it's like, yo, like you already have it's true. You already have the slang. Just go
with your own thing.
Just go with your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, like, mans are like, yo, but them like they're using the accent, and I'm like, and I look at the bottom and I see location, like, you know how they put the location on YouTube, it says Toronto, right? And look, I've talked to some of these artists, and I'm like listening to the tune, and I'm like, why are you trying to sound like a UK artist? And then we have this fucking habit of doing this shit, okay? And niggas don't like me because I'll fucking call us out on the shit that we've been doing. It's the stupid using Yankee accents like Caravana shit that we used to do back in the days. Probably when Caravana Far was back again. We're still gonna do it again.
And it still works. And it still works.
And then niggas do this stupid excuse. Oh, I used to live over there I did it once upon a time, okay? I can say this because I'm not afraid to admit the stupid shit that I used to do. Right? I've grown up past that. I've unlearned a lot of that shit, but I've done it too. Oh, I used to be in New York all the time. That's why my New York accent's a little bit like that. That's bullshit, fam. If you don't live there, you don't fucking live there, fam. That shit's gonna be gone, bro.
That's true.
You're gonna start picking up the things and if you live there and you really live there, you start picking up their shit.
Exactly.
It's just
True.
human nature, period, fam. Like I got a motherfucker I'm from Montreal originally, right?
Yeah.
I got a nigga who lives in Miami. He's been living in Miami 20 plus years. When I talk to him on the phone, he sounds like a Miami nigga.
Yeah.
Because he lives there.
He's
One of
been
my friends
living
that
there-
happened to,
Yes,
That
this
happens,
is it's inevitable, fam.
Exactly. Yeah.
But he can't be like going to Miami every couple of few months a year and then coming back and trying to talk like a Miami nigga. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That's
Don't give me that
biting.
bullshit, fam.
I saw Drake on a live one time, and the man, like, I heard the Toronto accent, and I'm like, I respect him for that because that's like he was talking. I think he was talking to Steph London, and he's talking to Toronto by accent. I'm like, yo, I rate the guy, bro, because he was talking like a regular Toronto guy.
Yes, but once upon a time, before he was the guy, he did it too. If you look at old Drake interviews, he'd be like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying," and then like,
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Like when he's talking to old flexing, like he'll try to be as like generic or like down the middle as possible.
yeah.
I'm telling you, man, Big Brother hand me down. We're trying to fit in that Big Brother.
But now he's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy now.
So now you got to see, yo, I go on, and you're gonna have to just figure it the fuck out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got $1 billion, bro. So just figure out what I'm saying.
And they do. You know how many Americans are tapping into our lingo now? I got an American family that hit me up trying to use some of our lingo. Sometimes I go, "What? You guys got Drake over there?" I'm like, "Whoa!" Like that's the line you hear. Like, y'all got Drake over there. I got to keep it 100 on that one.
Nah,
because now he can talk however he wants.
Exactly.
And that is true. That's true.
It's like literally
Now you can stick your chest out and say, "Yeah, I'm from Toronto," and like, and
word?
you know what I'm saying?
one of the first couple sentences Drake's coming up.
Yeah.
Once you say you're from Toronto in the States, one of the first couple sentences are going to be like, "Yo, Drake."
But as you know, I know, and we're potting, right?
Yeah.
As a Drakeologist, fam, he wasn't always doing this, fam. He seeped his Torontoisms into the American culture. Okay, he waited until the Nothing Was the Same album dropped.
Yep.
He got all his got to that level, cover of GQ magazine, and then after that album, okay, watch what I'm saying. 0 to 100 real quick. Lucy dropped after. Remember 0 to 100?
Yeah.
That was a Lucy.
Yep.
That's when you started hearing their little chat. I heard the first little chats in there. I was like,
Yeah.
did he just say? I forgot what he said in it. I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, did you just say that on a song? Them niggas down south ain't gonna understand that line.
Yeah.
Right? But then views dropped after. Remember he said, yo, I'm gonna make an album for the city. The man's on the top of the CN Tower. The album starts with girls talking, Toronto talk. Like after that, he was like full steam ahead. You guys are gonna have to get used to the way we talk.
And back to back, the mess on Guan and Wasi.
Yeah. Like he's
Like,
just he's talking.
You know,
the
it's
talk.
crazy that Friday really studied Drake, because I noticed that too. If you watch the album, like from Thank Me Now, Thank Me Later to like you didn't hear the accent, you didn't hear Toronto.
Houston
You
Drake,
didn't-
fam.
You didn't
Houston,
get that.
Yeah.
And
Houston,
then
Atlanta, Vegas.
you get the Western Road flows. When I saw View's Western Road flows, I'm like,
Yo, the man's talking about going to Life Club and all these different places. I'm like, what are you talking? Yo, bro, what are you doing? C-says and all this shit we were talking. Like, what are you saying, fam? Like, we can only understand this. But he had to get to a certain level before you could just do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before that, because remember, Cardinal tried this once upon a time. He tried to just give you the Toronto, like, bro, this is how we do it.
Bacardi slang thing. Yeah.
They weren't ready for that.
They were,
fam.
and the tracks were hard. You know,
Track was hard.
Me and Koppel had a conversation recently where I said Cardinal was just bad timing.
It was bad timing. And it was
just bad
too
timing.
much.
It was
Right?
it was a lot.
He caught a lick with Dangerous because he had one Akon on the
Big
hook.
lick,
on the
a big
hook,
lick,
yeah.
a big lick.
So like they weren't, and no diss to Cardinal because Cardinal's a GOAT,
Of
right?
course.
But they weren't really taking in the bars like that, right?
was
They're like
that
waiting
hook.
for the hook,
Yeah.
going back to the hook, right? Because at the time, just the way that he was like they weren't understanding. Like you gotta understand, there's not a big Caribbean culture in the States except for New York, Miami,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
That's pretty much
that's
it.
pretty much
pretty
it.
much it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Right,
Pretty
because
much
the
it.
West Coast is not like that. West Coast is Mexican.
Yeah, it's more
You know what I'm
Spanish
saying?
influence.
And Black American, yeah.
Yeah, and then once you start getting into the South, it's like it's a whole other different thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of
Even though Miami's in
segregation.
the South, but Miami's right there by the coast.
Yeah.
Right? So like you got to think the coast places where like a lot of us have emigrated to, you know, Miami, New York, and Toronto.
Yep. Yep. That's another one. That's why
Right?
we're a melting pot of different cultures.
Man,
Yes.
that's true.
There's lineage to the reason why we do things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.